Hey, how's everybody doing? This is Coach Kimmey.
I'm Andrew Abendroth. Welcome back to Sunday Coach's Corner.
He's back in action. We just had a game. He was on the sidelines. I almost strapped him up, put a helmet on him.
Yeah, it was kind of tough being out there,
How'd that feel?
It was exciting because I haven't been to a football game in a while,
Yeah.
but it was, it's fun to be out there with all my great friends and everything. So it's fun to see them play their hearts out and everything.
Yeah.
They worked hard. It was a good game.
Yeah, it was a good game, and just kind of weird to be on the other end of it, isn't it?
Yeah, because I remember last year it was the opposite way around. My friend, Alex Nix, remember? He came down to Key West with us, and
right.
That was weird seeing him not playing. And they were all telling me on the side, they were like, dude, it's so weird not having you play and everything. I was like, it's weird not playing.
I know. Time flies, man. And here you are. But and I'm going to ask your perspective here in a little bit about what you saw from just, an alumni's perspective, a guy that's been there, it's seen it, and, some of the good things and things that you think we can continue to work on. But, we're here for the Sunday Coach's Corner. We're getting ready to roll into the first week of the regular season. Just finished our kickoff classic against Space Coast. Didn't come out on top, lost 24-14. But, we were in that game from start to finish. I was proud of the heart and the toughness that we showed. So, we're going to kind of review the game a little bit, and then we'll get into our new focus and our new mission, which is O'Galley for this week on Friday, which is going to be another great test. So let's just get into it. I mean, why don't you share some of the things that you saw, the good things that kind of stood out to you?
So as you know, I called out of work a little bit late or whatever. So I got to the game a little bit before halftime.
That's how dedicated he is. He's like, you know what?
I had to be there.
Can't be at work.
Yeah. So as I was pulling up down Jackson, I remember hearing it. I had my windows down. I could hear everyone cheering and everything. So I was like, oh crap!
Yeah, there was this big crowd.
Yeah, really big crowd, and I could tell from down the street. And I pulled up, and as I got out of my car, I could literally just still hear everyone yelling and everything. So it was exciting, walking up there. I had to pay $6 to get in.
Sorry about that.
Do you know who I am?
Hold on. I'm Andrew Abendroth. Come on now.
But yeah, anyways, I got into the sideline, and I remember you guys were driving down the field. Everything looked smooth, You guys have a lot of it's all the fundamentals down and everything. Yeah. Like I said earlier, it's just all about that trust. Once they truly believe in each other, that they can they truly believe that each other will finish the play,
Yeah,
they're all brothers and everything.
It takes all 11.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Last year, that Key West game is kind of the thing that brought us all together. So hopefully, this upcoming week
it's that moment where
it just snaps.
You
don't plan it; it just happens.
Yeah, and you can't. I think sometimes you could easily say, "Well, hey, look, we're just going to show up, and that all those 8-2 successes are just going to continue to happen."
Yeah,
and you got to work for it. You got to earn it every single game, and like I said, it's all about going 1-0 on every rep and every play and every drill and every practice and every game.
You have on your helmet, right?
Yeah, right, dead center. It says 1-0. So we did that on purpose, So, but I agree, man. The crowd was awesome, huge. Scorp Nation showed up in full strength. Everybody was a red out. I saw so much red, and everybody was cheering. Cheerleaders, the band, JROTC, everybody did awesome. So it was good to see such an awesome turnout. That's one of my favorite parts about this place is just the community, and I agree. It was loud.
Yeah, and all the things that you guys do, outside of the season, outside of football, really helps bring together the community and everything, with the community service days, the flags, and all that stuff. You give,
you give, and then they want to come give back by showing up at the game. So I agree that the crowd was awesome. We were executing a lot. We had many opportunities. We were in the red zone quite a bit on offense. Defensively, we got quite a bit of stops. Had a lot of negative plays. You had a few big sacks that we had. But I thought our run defense did well. Our defensive line, and we'll kind of break it down. So and we'll kind of just go piece by piece and talk about some of the good things and some of the areas for improvement for next week that we're looking at. So let's just start on the defensive side of the ball since I kind of just led into it. We'll start with the D-line, and I'll just kind of say some things that I saw from my area. Luke Bowling was an absolute monster.
That's exactly what I was just about to say.
He broke his face mask off.
I was like, where did this kid come from?
He was when for some reason I see him running out. I'm like, why is he coming out? What's his problem? What's going on? And I see the face mask flopping left and right, and I'm like, this kid broke his face mask off, which is 1940s football. That's old school.
Hard to do.
So he finished with 8 tackles, which is crazy, you know, for a defensive tackle to do that.
He was doing good.
Yep.
He held it down.
Pursuing, and he was all over the field.
Yeah,
so
I saw him literally finish plays 15 yards down the field on the opposite side.
And we talk about on defense, you know, if you're not pursuing to the football, you might as well play for the other team.
Exactly.
So you know, he was pursuing all over the field. Tanner Gammon had a huge sack for us, held his own. Scott Ween did a great job. And then we kind of mixed in some other guys there at D-tackle. I thought Damari and Howard had a good game. Yeah. You know, Burge had a good game. Husenveld worked in there too. So we had a bunch of guys that kind of worked in and rotated in there. Brad Harrell got in there too. So linebacker level, JD Arnold finished with 7 tackles. Our Mike linebacker. Court Green, you know, playing first game at outside linebacker, did okay.
Yeah, I was really surprised because like he was practicing as quarterback, and I saw him out there, and he had like the high socks and everything, and like he had a sleeve, so I had no clue who it was. Like I don't know really the numbers that well. Yeah. So
quarterback number 12.
He came out, and I was like, who's that?
He's still playing a little quarterback for us. Yeah, this week he's going to get a little bit more reps.
He was excited. He likes defense. He had some bruises and the end of the game.
No, he did good. I mean, and that's, you know, we had a lot, and we were just talking about it, but we had a lot of newer, younger guys in places that are getting their first real varsity reps. And you know, you remember taking your first varsity reps. It's just so different than JV, you know, and it's so different than anything that the speed of the game is so different. So. You know, you can expect some hiccups in the kickoff classic, but hey, we're going to get them cleaned up. We're going to be ready for O'Galley, and that's where our focus is now. But and I thought Chucky Morris did a good job. You know, again, we just got to work at the linebacker level to be attacking downhill, taking our hard run, our read steps, those run read steps first before dropping for pass. We can't take our pass drops right before when the play starts.
Yeah, and I also noticed that the D tackle, like our Luke Bowling, was just getting through so fast that the offensive guard really would just like let him go and come just get JD.
Right.
So
and it's you know, we want penetration from the D line. We want that. You know, we just got to be under control.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, and when we're calling our blitzes off the edge, those outside linebackers, when they're blitzing, they got to be under control too. You know, so it was just, again, it's all you know, things that are a little bit of rust getting knocked off. It's our first game. And I guess my favorite thing about overall for the team is we were in the ball game. We were down by 4 right there in the third, fourth quarter. We were driving. We had a chance to take the lead, and right there in the red zone, we just missed the call. And you know, John didn't hear me, and we weren't able to get that. And I've already fixed that. That was my fault. I should have signaled it in. So nothing on John, but you know, we had a chance there to really take the lead and seize the momentum. So that being said, I feel good about how hard we fought, our heart, the toughness that we showed, and just having a deal. I mean, that was a good football team, well coached. They're aggressive on offense, defense. They ran the ball well. They flew to the ball on defense.
Talked a lot.
Yeah. You know,
it's football.
It's football. You know how it is.
They were talking to me on the sideline. I was like,
you're like, hey, I'm not even on the field, right?
Man.
But you know, they you know, they had some words, but you know, at the end of the day, it is football, and I ain't gonna fault them for that. And you know, at the end of the day, well, only words matter on the scoreboard. You know,
exactly,
so and they had the edge on that, so they could talk.
It's good that you guys you know, have everything figured out. You know what you did wrong. You know. I remember last year, whenever we would do something wrong, like you'd just be on top of it right away. So at halftime, we would go in, change it all up. Our defense would shut it out.
Yeah, our second half was way better than our first half.
It was.
You know, we went in there, we made the adjustments, we knew what we had to fix, and we fixed it. And we actually came out and we won the third quarter. We scored more points than them in the third quarter. We just weren't able to finish, and that's okay. So, you know, we got some things that are going to happen this week. You know, we're going to continue to focus on getting better every week and going 1-0. So, the DBs, our secondary, I thought did a great job. You know, we took a couple. We had one blown coverage. Big 80-yard pass. Yep. No, that was right there in the beginning. It was like right after we missed the field goal. They got the ball. They threw an 80-yard bomb, and our safety just didn't get over the top. And that's okay. You know, again, these are the things that we got to learn from and get better. Exactly. And then there was another play, a couple plays where we just took a poor angle. But other than that, our DBs were coming downhill. They made tackles in space. Trey Brown had an interception. You know, I thought it was Alex Colby had some tackles in space. Jaime Steffen came down and lit some guys up. Gunnar Greenwald did a great job there. So, you know, I thought we had a good balance. And we did a good job knowing who the playmakers were, but the playmaker was number 5. He got us one time, and sometimes you just got to tip your hat. Exactly, he got us over the top. We weren't where we were supposed to be, but that's okay. Special teams wise, Kyle Downey, man.
I think it was a 44 and a 51.
44 and a 51 yarder. he was 8 inches from a 52. He would have tied his brother's record. So I know he's setting the tone. And I tell you what, that kick, that 51-yard kick, would have been good from 60.
Oh, easily.
It had 10 more yards.
And I have a video of the 44-yard one. Actually, he sent me a video of the 50,
of course he did,
of the 51-yard one. He was
but when I was watching it, I'm watching it on the film, and I'm like, man, that thing still had more distance.
Yeah.
So he's on. He is on. Yeah. That's good to know from a coach's perspective that 45 yards and in. I'm not afraid to send him out there, man. He's confident and he's doing a great job.
It's always nice to have a good kicker,
Yeah.
And just trust him. Just like Gators with Pinero. They would just kick him from the
right.
55.
It really helps a lot. So when it's 4th down, from the 40, you don't feel like you got to go for it. You can go. You can send him out there and get some points on the board, and he did a great job. One time the guy ran. I was like, he's a soccer player, and there was one time the guy ran right into him. And I'm gonna have to talk to him. He's got to flop on that. He's got to be a great actor.
I remember on the 44-yard one, there was 2 guys coming in from the side, and they both jumped right across him, but somehow he still got it off and kicked it.
I know. Yeah, it was close. Yeah. It was close. But the first 51-yarder, he kicked it, and then the dude ran right into him. I'm like, dude, come on, fall. No, I think he didn't fall because he wanted it to be a 51-yard kick. He knew it would have been a penalty and a first down. Offensively, John Hinkle, I'm going to start with him, 10th grader. He had a great night, man. He of course, had a few reads that he's got to, continue to improve on. A couple passes here and there that it was just like his fingertip. If he had released it, it might have not have floated so high and would have hit the receiver in the hands. But that was just little things. And I mean, man, I just talked to him today, man. It's continue to advance. Never settle. Always get better. You're never perfect, and that's why we play the game. So, my favorite part about that with John, I mean, the whole team was just kind of wanting to see how's John going to be? How's he going to be in a game situation on varsity?
I think everyone was.
Yeah, whole stands. I was. John probably was.
I know my parents were excited.
Yeah. So
my mom texted me. She was like, "Oh my gosh, John is doing so well."
I know. And I asked John after the game. I said, "And you remember just when you earn the respect of your teammates, how awesome that moment is." And I asked John after the game. I was like, "Yeah, we got to clean up this, clean up that." I said, how many players came up to you and said during the game and said, "Wow, John, great job. I know you got my back. Awesome play," or whatever. He's like, every player.
It's comforting to hear that, to know that everyone trusts in you.
And they got his back.
If you mess up, they'll take care of it too.
Yeah, because you can do all the lifting and all the running and all the leadership you want, but people want to see, can you do it in a game? Can you lead us into the end zone and on offense? And he did awesome. So proud of that kid. He's worked really hard over summer. We got a couple guys banged up. We'll see how they play out. I don't know if they'll play this week or not. We'll see. We'll see how Bo Cole does and Parker Jones does.
He's tough kids.
Yeah, they're both tough kids, and they may end up playing O'Galley. We'll see, get them rested up, and hopefully they'll be out there on Friday. But we'll see how that goes.
Put that little guardian thing.
Yeah, put him in a bubble. Yeah, roll him around in a bubble. He'll be all right. Yeah, put the guardian on his head. Our receiving core did okay. We had a couple times. We got to get a little bit better blocking. We got to get a little bit better on our route running and bursting off the ball. But overall, I think we had a couple guys that were able to, kind of take the top off the defense. Little Gunner had a good catch. Alex Goodale had a couple good catches. And Danny Colby. It's weird. I was sitting in the weight room with him watching film before the game, and I said, "Listen, guys," I said, "Danny." I don't know why I picked Danny Colby, but I was just like, "Danny Colby's going to be in my back pocket all game because when I call a certain formation, he's going to go in." And I said, "But Danny might be sitting here right now going, well, hopefully I get in. I don't know." And what I was trying to highlight is your number might be called tonight, and you better be ready. Exactly. And I used Danny Colby, and I said, Danny Colby's number might get called tonight. Yes. And it did, didn't it? Mm-hmm. Man, that kid stepped up.
He was ready.
He's like little Julian Edelman.
I think what was his percentage of catching? I'm pretty sure he caught
4 for 4.
4 for 4, yeah.
4 for 4, and 2 of them, the guy was draped right on him. And that one, that was kind of like a little floater ball. He came back, he swam the DB and then ended up in a high point in the ball. And that guy was 6'2", and Danny's 5'9", 140. So he runs great routes, got good hands, he's reliable. He's kind of like that Edelman style,
Exactly.
So Greenwald, he took the top off the defense a couple times, and Goodell, like I said, had and Bo Cole had a great night. He's just going to be Bo. Bo's going to be Bo. Consistent, tough as nails,
Yes.
And he did a good job. So overall, offensive line, I'd say C minus. We had four. I'd say 4 of our guys had pretty good nights. Our center's brand new, first varsity reps, Will Russell. So he was getting used to the speed of the game, but Nick Bergeron, Jackson Lacey, Spencer Husenfeld had a great night. Felipe, he's just got to get better. Again, it was kind of his first varsity game back in a while since getting injured last year.
Yeah.
So again, he's just still getting used to it. But he's gonna. We sat today and watched film, and
he wants to get better, which I can tell.
And he's going to work on it. We're going to fix it.
I can tell during the game. It's just that first step he has. He's got to make that first step a tad quicker. Yeah.
I watched 60 clips with him, and it was the same thing. It was that first step. Mm-hmm. It's amazing how much that sets you up for success or not for success. Mm-hmm. Playing linebacker, playing offensive line, doesn't matter. Playing quarterback, that first step is everything. So
he wants to get better, though. I can tell.
Oh man, he was so. He soaked everything up in that film session, and I'm gonna give him a chance to get it right this week in practice, and we'll see. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna try a couple other guys out. And DeMaurian Howard's gonna play a little tackle for us this week.
He's a big kid.
Big, rangy, long arms, and we'll see how that goes. But I want Felipe and DeMaurian to own that job and to be able to do it right for us. So. Sorry, my voice is a little out. Friday nights.
I
man.
heard you.
Getting after it.
I heard.
But overall, my biggest thing and a few takeaways, and then we'll end it. We'll talk a little bit about O'Galley, and then we'll be done. But my takeaways are our toughness, our mental and physical toughness, our grit, our ability to fight through adversity was impressive. We were still in the game with very few minutes left.
The cramps too. I forgot about that.
The cramps, yeah, we got to get that right. We're gonna drink more pickle juice, hydrate during the week.
Just got to chug a whole lot.
Run a little more in practice. A little more conditioning, and balance that out. So we're gonna get that right. But overall, like I said, I was impressed with how hard we fought. Mm-hmm. You can't measure heart. You can only see it when it happens.
Exactly.
And to know
they didn't give up. So
to know that we're going to fight through it is good. We just made too many mistakes. We made too many mistakes, which it's a kickoff classic. But when you give it, I don't care who you're playing. When you give them chances, too many chances in the red zone, turnovers, not being in the right spot, alignment, assignment, missing tackles in space. Or blown coverages. Yeah. You give them too many chances. You keep teams in the game that shouldn't be in the game. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying Space Coast shouldn't have been. They were a good team, but I don't care. Like I said, I don't care who we're playing. We got to play mistake-free football and execute to perfection. Excuse me. So that is the focus for this week. Eliminate the mistakes. Coach them better. I got to do better. It's on me. So we're going to get it right. We're going to get it fixed. I'm excited for O'Galley.
Mm-hmm. It's a home game, or
it's supposed to be at O'Galley. So
I heard their field was a little.
Yeah, they're going to make a decision tomorrow as to what they're going to do. We have a few options on the table. So
I remember last year we played them at Mel.
I know. I was like, I texted the O'Galley coach and I was like, I feel your pain. I was going through this last year. So, exactly. You remember O'Galley last year? What are some things that you remember from the team?
Well,
it's a new coach.
They were kind of like us. I felt like a little bit last year. They had some upcoming seniors that were really confident in playing, and some really good players. And it was their senior year, so they were ready to win some games. And they came in really competitive. They let go a lot of seniors after this year. Yeah. So I remember they're not gonna have. They won't have. They still have that one receiver.
Number 5. Yeah, Baker. Kid's pretty good, man. He's got
couple D1.
He's college. Yeah, he's gonna be a D1 football player.
Got rid of Cordell. He went off to college, so they're out of safety and receiver.
Sure.
You might not have an experienced safety and not work with your receivers.
Yeah.
And their running back
Keith.
Yeah, he had the dress.
Right?
Mm-hmm. He went to Mount Union.
That's right. Yeah, good player. Yeah.
Really good player. He was really tough. Really tough. But so. Might be out of running back, but I feel like they might use Baker at running back.
Baker and
they're going to use Baker as a type of bow.
Right, Wildcat style. They got a kid, Zach Passion, who's pretty good too, number 4. But last year their secondary was pretty special. With Cordell back there, he's a great safety. So, their secondary's again pretty good. They kind of reloaded, and it's a new coach, so a little bit different system defensively, offensively.
Is it like a totally new coach or someone?
Totally brand new head coach. Yeah. So Coach Sands, he came over from the Tampa area, so he's brand new over there. So again, it's not like we can just look at last year's film and say they're going to do the same thing. So we already looked at the film. Again, offensively, got a few good athletes. You kind of talked about them already. Baker and Passion back there. Offensive line's pretty good. Quarterback can sling it a little bit. They're good. They're good offensively. Do they still have
the same quarterback from last year?
No, different kid. Yeah, it's a different kid. So again, we're going to have to have a great week of practice on defense and be ready to continue to execute. We got to keep getting better. And I know Coach Hodges will have a great game plan, and we'll be prepared for that. Offensively, offensively they run a 3-4, so they'll either be in the 30 or 50 front, depending. They also run a little bit of a 40 front. They'll bring guys kind of off the edge, and we got a great plan we came up with today. So we're ready to continue to execute and clean up our mistakes from Space Coast. So it'll be another great test for us. First game of the regular season, looking to go 1-0. And it's always a good game with the Old Galley Commodores. It's always a battle, man. Last year was a battle. The ball just ended up kind of falling in our way more than it did for
all 4 years of my high school career. It's just been tough.
Every game against Old Galley is a hard-fought game. So I'm looking for that again, which is good. Again, just like you said, you want to start your year with games like that, where you're really having to fight. Your team comes together. That's right. So I'm excited to go have another great test for us this week against the Commodores. Great football team, great coaching staff, and we're looking forward to continue to validate all the hard work we've been doing in practice and continue to clean up our mistakes and execute to perfection. Go 1-0, baby.
Yes, sir.
All right, you going to be there maybe?
I
You going to quit your job on Friday again?
Honestly, I might just have to quit and come.
That's right. I'm going to hire you.
I'll be there, though. I'll be there.
All right, you have to stop out.
Even if it's after halftime, I'll be there.
Good. All right. Awesome. Well, for Coach Kimmey,
Andrew Abendroth,
this has again been the Sunday Coaches Corner for Week 1 or the Kickoff Classic regular season. We're getting ready to move into Old Galley next week, and we'll be back next Sunday with a review of the game. Hopefully 1-0, and the plan is to do that, and then we will preview Melbourne. So we'll see you guys next Sunday, and let's get that dub on Friday. Have a good day.